Hi students, good morning. This is K. Santosh Kumar, EGT Zoology, Srikakulam. So we are conducting the YouTube classes. So we are discussing digestion and absorption of food materials. Okay, already we have discussed some parts in alimentary canal. Okay, mouth, oral cavity, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and anus. Already we have discussed the mouth, buccal cavity and which contain a different teeth, already explained, tongue, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine. Okay, today we learn the large intestine. So large intestine which consists of the three important parts: cecum, colon, rectum. And the cecum, it is a small blind sac-like structure. Cecum is a small blind sac-like structure, then which hosts some symbiotic microorganisms. And as the small tubular projections are arranged from these cecum. Some small tubular projections are arranged from the cecum. That is called vermiform appendix or abdominal tonsil. So which acts like a vestigial organ, which is not a role in the human being. Especially it's not a role in the digestion. It's a playing important role in the ruminants, not in a human being. And whatever it may be, this cecum is opens into colon. Okay, it opens into the colon. Then this colon is divided into four main parts: ascending part, transverse part, descending part, sigmoid parts. Okay, then these sigmoid parts continues behind into rectum. Okay, the sigmoid part of the colon which is continues behind into the rectum, and then colon shows a external bulged out pouches. This colon shows the external bulged out pouches, that is called haustra. Okay, then this rectum, the sigmoid part of rectum continues the sigmoid part of colon continues behind into the rectum. So rectum, what kind of the structure is? So rectum is a small dilated part. Okay, it is a small dilated sac-like structure. Then it leads into a anal canal. And this anal canal is opens into anus. So now we have to see that anus. It is a one of the part. It is a last part of alimentary tract. Then this anus, it is guarded by the two kinds of the sphincters. Okay, that by two kinds of the sphincter, like the internal anal sphincter and external anal sphincter. Okay, internal anal sphincter is formed by the smooth muscles. So the movement of these muscles are not in our control. And external anal sphincter, which is guarded by a ring of voluntary or striped sphincter muscles. Okay, the movement of this external anal sphincter is formed by a ring of voluntary or striped muscle. Then this movement is involved. This movement is controlled in our. Okay. Then whatever it may be, some certain materials are absorbed, which is not playing an important role. It is not any role in the digestion. Okay. In large intestine, especially in large intestine, have not any digestion process. But some of the materials are secreted into this, and some of the certain materials are absorbed in the undigested food material. So undigested food material travel through by this large intestine, and at the time of the traveling, some of the materials like water, minerals and some of the drugs are absorbed through by this wall of the large intestine, and it secretes the mucous membrane to lubricating the undigested food material, then to form a fecus, and finally it's it's open exteriorly. Okay, then coming to the structure, internal structure of these intestine. Okay, so we see that histology of alimentary canal. So alimentary canal are extended from the esophagus to rectum. Esophagus to rectum. So generally this alimentary canal is lain by the four layers: serosa, muscularis externa, submucosa and mucosa layer. Four layers are arranged in the alimentary canal. Then we have to see that serosa. It is the outermost layer. Okay, you have to see that serosa, muscularis externa, submucosa and mucosa layer. Then first of all we see that serosa, and it is the outermost layer. It is the outermost layer. Then it is made up of with the epithelial tissue, with the connective tissue, thin epithelium with the connective tissue. Then coming to second layer, muscularis externa, formed by the smooth muscles, usually arranged into outer longitudinal muscles and inner circular muscles. Outer longitudinal muscles and circular muscles are arranged in the rows in the muscularis externa. Then coming to that an oblique muscle layer. Oblique muscle layer may be present in some regions of the alimentary canal, such as presence in the stomach. Which layer is oblique muscle layer? Okay. Then coming to that another part, submucosa. Then coming to submucosa layer, then it is formed of loose connective tissue. Forms the loose connective tissue and containing nerves, blood vessels and lymph vessels. Okay, and then the submucosa of duodenum. The submucosa of duodenum. Duodenum is the first part of small intestine. The submucosa of duodenum has some of the important glands, that is called Burnous glands, which contain the gland called Burnous gland. Then it secretes the mucosa. Okay, then it secretes the mucus for the lubrication of food material. Then coming to the mucosa. So the mucosa is a innermost layer. Mucosa is a innermost layer of the alimentary canal. So it is innermost lining. It is an innermost lining, layer of the lining of alimentary canal. Then mucosa of stomach. We have to see that mucosa of stomach form a irregular folds. Okay, the mucosa in the stomach to form a irregular folds. These irregular folds are called gastric rugae. These gastric rugae contain the special glands called gastric glands. This gastric gland secretes the secretion called gastric juice, which contain enzymes, inactivate enzymes and HCl. We know that. And the mucosa of small intestine. The mucosa of small intestine to form a small finger-like projections. The mucosa of small intestine to form a finger-like projections, that is called villi. Then these villi, the columnar epithelium cells that line the villi to produce numerous microscopic projections. Okay, in these villis have contained the columnar epithelial cells. Which cells? Columnar epithelial cells that line the villi. This villi to produce the specialized numerous microscopic projections are called microvillis. Okay, these microvillis to looks like a brush border appearance. It look like a brush border appearance. Then it's useful when the surface area of increased through by this villis to the small intestine, then it helps in the absorption of the digested food material. Then this mucosal epithelium of small intestine The mucosal epithelium of small intestine contain the specialized cells that is called goblet cells. These goblet cells to produce the mucus, to secrete the mucus. The goblet cells to produce the mucus. This mucus helps in the lubrication of food material, lubricating the food material, and then it is also useful for the some enzymatic reaction. It prevents the native actions from the action of enzymes, enzymatic actions. Okay. Then coming to that, this goblet cells to produce a mucus. Then coming to that, the mucosa of small intestine. The mucosa of a small intestine to produce to form a specialized structure that is called crypts of Leperkoons. Crypts of Leperkoon. Okay. Then this is the structure of histology of the alimentary canal. So it is formed by the 4 layers like serosa and muscularis externa, which contain inner circular muscles, outer longitudinal muscles, submucosa and mucosa. Okay. You want more videos from me, you subscribe my channel as Santosh Jivali channel. Thank you students, all of you.